Hey, Shalom, Makim Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us his truth and that's for teaching his truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes and who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all I say Shalom. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson. And I pray this lesson is edifying to the elect and to the point. And I want to do a lesson going in on the fact of, this is from Al Jazeera. This is just the app that I have on my phone. And this is, let's see, 17 hours ago. And the title reads, it says, Biden to allow Ukraine to use U.S. weapons inside Russia. Reports. Now, Vladimir Putin came out and stated that if any nation or if any country imposes to use their weapons, all right, inside of Russia, before call Allah Yahweh Shai Shai. If matter of fact, let me I have it pulled up here. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit just so you can hear it for yourself. And this is fair use. I'm not using this. As a matter of fact, let me just do this real quick just so I have it pulled up. YouTube fair use policy. There's one that I usually like, but here we go. All right, this is a disclaimer. All right, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So this is fair use. All right. Now, I'm going to play this real quick so y'all can hear for yourself. I'm just going to play a little few minutes of this, read the article, get some precepts, and Lord willing, like I said, this will be edifying. Turn this down a little bit. Hopefully it's no echo. I'm not sure.
US weapons to strike deeper inside Russia. President Zelensky has been pushing Western allies to allow his forces to use the missiles. It's believed the decision could help shift momentum in the conflict.
In the updated version of the document, aggression against Russia by any non-nuclear state, but with the support of a nuclear state, is proposed to be considered as their joint attack on Russia.
You see that? So any aggression of let me hear it again. Any aggression of, I think he said, a non-nuclear state with the help of a nuclear state.
In the conflict.
In the updated version of the document, aggression against Russia by any non-nuclear state, but with the support of a nuclear state, is proposed to be considered as their joint attack on Russia.
There it is right there. So any aggression of a non-nuclear state by the help of a nuclear state, all right, would be pretty much imposed as an attack on Russia by that non-nuclear state, or by that nuclear state as well.
Russia will also consider the possibility of using nuclear weapons when receiving reliable information about a massive launch of means of aerospace attack and their crossing of our state border. This includes...
You see that? He said Russia will consider using nuclear weapons if there's any kind of weapons, all right, there's any kind of weapons that's being used and launched across their aerospace of for example, if Ukraine launches American missiles or U.S. missiles into Russia, Russia will consider that an attack on them by America. Okay, and we see these things all adding up ultimately to the grand showdown. Okay, we see these things ultimately adding up to the grand showdown of World War III taking place. All right, in America, which is Babylon the Great in the scriptures. All right, being absolutely annihilated by thermonuclear missiles, man. ICBM thermonuclear missiles. Okay, let's get a precept real quick. Now, I will say also too that missiles aren't going to start flying, all right, unless, or I'd rather say until, all right, the MOTB is fully established worldwide. All right, the total destruction of America is not going to come until the mandatory implementation of the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, the microchip, all right, is established throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay, Just want to throw that disclaimer out there as well too. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse. Let's see, Isaiah 13, verse. Get to the point. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 17. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them." Now the Medes here is talking about Russia. All right, this is a future prophecy. And when you look at an ancient map, all right, when you look at an ancient map of where the Medes were located, it is located within the region of Russia, Armenia, all right? That whole region in that of the earth is where the Medes, the ancient Medes, which are Japhites, were placed and settled. Okay? That's why whenever you read it prophetically, it says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them." Okay, which is not talking about the actual Medes of the time. It's talking about Russia here. Okay? It says, which shall not regard silver. All right, it says, "And as for gold, they shall not delight in it." You see, there's not going to be any kind of bargaining that's going to be able to take place between Russia, or rather say, there's not going to be any kind of bargaining that America is going to be able to do with these various different nations when they decide to push the button. All right, it says, "Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces." And the bow is talking about their missiles. Okay, it says, "Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." And that's how you know that it's not talking about. That's how you know it's not talking about the ancient Babylonian kingdom whenever it fell, whenever Belshazzar came into power. All right, when you read Daniel the 5th chapter, okay, because it was more so a surgical strike. Okay, and pretty much the kingdom was given to the Medes. It was pretty much handed over. It didn't really even go down with any kind of battle or anything. Okay, there's no report or record that Babylon the Great fell in the likeness of how Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed. Because how did Sodom and Gomorrah get destroyed? They got burned up by fire and brimstone. Yeah, Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, Zeboim, and then Zor was slated to be destroyed. You know, but Zor was actually spared. You know, because Lot pleaded with the Most High about Zor being spared, which Zor means insignificant. Okay, but going back to the point is that Babylon, all right, the Great, or Babylon here in this chapter, wasn't destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, so this is letting you know that this has to be another Babylon. This has to be another place that they're talking about, and that place here that's being spoken about is talking about America. Okay,
strategic and tactical aircraft, as well as cruise missiles and drones, hypersonic and other delivery vehicles. Russia reserves the right to use nuclear weapons in case of aggression, including if the enemy, using conventional weapons, poses a critical threat.
The plan to strengthen Ukraine is the Victory Plan, which I presented to our partners. One of its key points is long-range capabilities for our army. Today, there's a lot of talk in the media about us receiving permission for respective actions. But strikes are not carried out with words. Such things are not announced. Missiles will speak for themselves. They certainly will.
U.S. President.
And here it is. You know, you got Ukraine that's getting billions of dollars. You know, but here it is, all this money that's being given to Ukraine by the United States, especially underneath the Biden administration. There's no, you know, you have the same amount of funds, or I rather say money, that's not being used in-house here due to all the issues going on in-house. So you got people that's already upset about that, on top of the money that's going over there to the JEWSs, the so-called JEWSs. You see? Now, here's the article here. It says, this, like I said, this is 17 hours ago. It says, Biden to allow Ukraine to use U.S. weapons inside Russia. All right, now this is happening before. This is happening before Joe Biden even becomes. I would rather say, not becomes. Excuse me. This is happening before Joe Biden even leaves office. You see, this is happening before Joe Biden leaves office. So you got to ask yourself, Okay, well, why would they allow this to happen right before Donald Trump goes into office? You see, why would they be allowing this to happen? Could they be trying to usher in and speed up World War III? You know, well, it's soon to be seen. You know, it's soon to be seen what's going to happen. It says outgoing United States President Joe Biden will allow Ukraine to use U.S. provided weapons to strike inside Russia. Various news outlets, including Reuters, the Associated Press, and the New York Times, have reported. Three sources familiar with the matter, including 2 U.S. officials, told Reuters on Sunday that Ukraine plans to carry out long-range attacks using the weapons in the coming days. You see, and this is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai speeding up the time. This is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai working on the minds of these different kings and rulers, ultimately what? To fulfill prophecy, to fulfill his will. Okay? It says the White House has not commented on the reports, but Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said that the missiles would speak for themselves. And that's what we heard in the report. You see, the missiles will speak for themselves. And where the missiles are going to be coming from, they're going to be coming from America. And I want to say that Turkey, and other EU nations, NATO and EU nations, I rather say, have agreed not to really not to support. Well, you know what? Yeah. Well, no. You know, I think I actually might be speaking about Israel right now. They're not going to be sending any weaponry to Israel. You see. Let me see something real quick. I'm just curious. We'll say NATO nations to send. NATO nations. Okay, this is July 5th, 2024. Because you have within these different NATO nations, you have some nations that are stating that, you know, they'll send weapons, but you also have some nations that's like, no, they're not going to send any more weapons. Especially when it goes down into this whole thing with Israel. Okay. But anyways, let's go back here. It says today, many in the media are saying that we have received permission to take appropriate actions. Zelensky said in his evening address to the Ukrainians. But strikes are not made with words. Such things are not announced. The missiles will speak for themselves. See that? So, with these missiles getting ready to be used, all right, in Russia by Ukraine, all right, which are going to have the United States stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? The United States, you know, pretty much it's going to be a direct shot from United States to Russia. And also, too, you had that happened over the weekend. Poland, they just allowed, I want to say that they allowed a base to be opened up in, I want to say it was like they allowed a base to be opened up in Poland. So, something along those lines, was right there on Russia's back door. Let me see if I can, maybe if I can search it. Yep, U.S. opens missile base in northern Poland, and that's right there. That's right there in Russia's back door, man. You see? So even with that happening, you know, it's like it's clear and evident that they're pushing forward. All right, with the agenda of getting ready to fight. But like I said, it's the Lord that's causing. It's the Lord that's placing it in their minds. It's causing them. All right, to make these moves. As the scripture says in Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Okay? Let's go back here. Oh, wow. I don't know what happened.
President Joe Biden